Hello everyone. Today I'm here with a new video, a one-act play. The name of that one-act play is The Pie and the Tart, written by Hugh Chesterman. So let's see about Hugh Chesterman. Hugh Chesterman, who was born in the year 1884 and died in the year 1941, who is a well-published author. He has written many children's books, especially in the 1920s and 30s. He has also edited a children's magazine. The name of that magazine is called The Merry-Go-Round, and he published along with his friend Basil Blackwell. Now we need to know what does mean by one-act play. So as the title suggests, as it is a one-act play, here we have only one act with one or two scenes, and the setting of the play also will remain the same. Next we need to know about the title. The Pie and the Tart is the title of the play. So what is pie? You can see from the picture, pie is a type of food made with meats, vegetables or fruit covered in pastry. And tart is an open pastry which containing sweet. Okay. So before we begin the play, we need to know about the characters. That would be easy for us to understand. In this one act play, we have only four characters, and all those four characters are really important. So first most important character in the play is Gaultier. Gaultier, who is a cake shop owner and who is 50 years old, who is a man of low self-esteem, and this Gaultier is actually innocent but short-tempered, and he is also a foolish person in this play, but he is also a proud person. He is very proud of himself. Though he is a foolish person, he is really proud of himself. The next important character is Gaultier's wife, Marion. She is really obedient. She is a obedient wife of Gaultier, and who runs a cake shop along with her husband. Both of them are running a cake shop together. And she is a little stout but an attractive woman. And third character is Pierre. He is a beggar. Though he is a beggar, he is really clever, and he has a presence of mind, which means that based on the situation he will act. So he has presence of mind, and who is a quick-witted person. Then his companion, Pierre's companion, is Jean. Both of them are friends. Jean and Pierre are friends. Jean is companion of Pierre, who is a little shrewd, smart, but not as tactful as Pierre. He is not as skillful as Pierre. So let's start the play. The Pie and the Tart. This Pie and the Tart tells the story of two beggars, and it shows how skillfully they find their way to satisfy their hunger, satisfy their appetite. The setting of the play is Paris, and the time period is the middle of the 15th century. The play begins with the introduction of two beggars, Jean and Pierre. Their present condition, the present condition of these two beggars, are really pitiable or pathetic, because they feel very difficulty to bear the extreme cold and hunger. They don't have anything to eat, they are really hungry, and at the same time they have to bear extreme cold. So both of them plan to get some food by begging. So they decide to go to the different direction to knock the doors for food. And Pierre goes in front of the Gaultier's cake shop and knocks the door. So Gaultier, the cake shop owner, who opens the door now. And Pierre starts begging in the name of God. But he did not get anything from Gaultier. Instead, he scolds and sends him away. And he asked him to go to the next street to check his luck, to get the food. Then there appears Jean, and who also knocks the door and starts begging. And this time the door is opened by Gaultier's wife, Marion. She is younger than her husband and a little stout but an attractive woman. She is a little kind than her husband, because though she tells the beggar to go away, she informs him to come again when her husband is back. She also tells the same reply like her husband, but she adds one more thing. She asks that beggar to come again when her husband is back. From her words, we can able to understand that she is a little kind woman. She is a little kind-hearted person. Then our miserable Jean sits there desperately. He did not get any food, and he has been sent away by Marion also. So, who sits desperately outside? Our miserable Jean. He feels very bad because Jean did not get anything to satisfy his belly. So, when he was hopelessly waiting outside, our Jean overheard a conversation between Gaultier and his wife Marion. Gaultier tells his wife about his plan to go for a dinner with the mayor. Okay, Gaultier plans to go for a dinner with the mayor, and he tells about this plan to his wife Marion. So, uh, for that dinner, Gaultier wants the eel pie which he made on last Monday. Gaultier has already made an eel pie last Monday. So now, as he plans to go for a dinner with the mayor, he wants to uh, get the eel pie which he has already made on the last week, last Monday. So he wants to take that eel pie to the mayor's house. And as we know already, he is really proud. He is a very proud person, so he doesn't want to carry the eel pie through the streets. He wants to take that eel pie to the mayor's house, but he will not carry it through the streets. He will not carry that eel pie through the streets because he feels that this will not be respectful for a person like him, and this is his nature. So that he asks his wife to carry that eel pie for him. And eel is actually a long, thin, snake like fish, and some type of which are eaten. Okay, it's a long, thin, snake like fish. So he asks his wife to carry that eel pie for him, but she also tells him that she is unable as she has some household works. Then Marion gives an idea to her husband that to send someone to carry this eel pie to the mayor's house. So, as per his wife's idea, Gaultier agrees to send a messenger to their house to get the eel pie. And most importantly, Marion should identify the correct person. So, how to identify the right person? There also, our Gaultier gives an idea. Gaultier gives a clue or a sign that um, stranger or that messenger, when he comes and knocks the door to get the eel pie from Marion, he will ask her hand to kiss. Okay, that messenger will ask Marion's hand to kiss. This is a sign. So if a person comes there and knocks the door to get the eel pie, and if he asks her hand to kiss, she should understand that this is the right person. This is the messenger whom sent by our Gaultier. So this is how she should understand the right person. This is an identification mark. So this is a sign to identify the right person or the right messenger. Now all these conversations between Gaultier and Marion are overheard by our Jean, who waits outside desperately. Later, what happened? Jean meets Pierre and conveys him about what he heard from Gaultier. And Jean tells a plan to Pierre. Okay, here Jean makes a plan and he tells this to Pierre. Then Jean convinces Pierre to go to Gaultier's house. At first, Pierre hesitates to go to there, as he has already gone and experienced their reply. But now he is convinced by Jean to go to the same place to check his luck, to check their luck. So Jean gives him proper instructions like how to approach Marion when she opens the door. Pierre should say that he was sent by Mr. Gaultier to fetch that eel pie and should ask her hand also to kiss it. This is really important. This is the sign which Gaultier gave his wife. So these are the signs to be followed. Pierre follows the instructions of Jean and collected the eel pie from Marion. So Pierre is extremely happy now, and he is not able to believe even his eyes. He doesn't understand whether it's a dream or reality. So what happened later? Later, Jean and Pierre enjoy their meal. What they have got it from the house of Gaultier. Then on the other side, Gaultier, who's extremely angry, and he comes back to his house because Gaultier couldn't go for the dinner with the mayor, as the mayor is not at home. Okay, the now that dinner got cancelled. Okay, he couldn't go for the dinner because mayor is not at home. Okay, the mayor is not available at home, so that the planned dinner is cancelled. So our Gaultier comes back home. This mayor actually asked Gaultier to come for the dinner. Okay, this mayor actually invited Gaultier to come for the dinner. Then he went out somewhere so that he couldn't join the dinner, so that he couldn't go for the dinner along with the mayor. This is what happened now. And he comes back home. Actually, this makes him angry. Okay, this um, dinner is got cancelled, no? So this makes him angry. So now Gaultier is not in a good mood as he missed the dinner along with the mayor. When he reaches home, he comes to know from his wife Marion that someone came there to collect this eel pie by following all the signs. He feels it very strange. Our Gaultier feels it very strange. He doesn't understand that who would be that person or who would be that stranger. Marion was actually very clear that she gave that eel pie to his messenger only. A person came there and asked the pie by telling to kiss her hand. Everything was perfect. These were the signs to examine whether he was the right person or not. She also just followed the same instruction and has given the eel pie to the messenger. But now it has become a big chaos or confusion. At the same time, there, our Jean and Pierre enjoy the meal. They feel very happy about their plan and their idea to get the delicious feast. Now Pierre conveys another important thing to Jean, that what he saw there in the house of Gaultier. When Pierre was standing or when Pierre was waiting at Mr. Gaultier's house, Gaultier's door, there he saw a cranberry tart which was kept on a shelf just outside the kitchen. Cranberry is a small red acid berry, okay, which is used in cooking. It's a small red color berry, acid berry, which is used in cooking. So up here, he has seen a cranberry tart which was kept on the shelf of Gaultier's kitchen. Pierre is tempting Jean by telling about this cranberry tart. Then he somehow convinces Jean to fetch that cranberry tart also by using the same formula what they have used for getting the eel pie. So following this, Jean knocks the door of Gaultier and tells his wife Marion that Gaultier wants that cranberry tart also, as he feels that eel pie is not large enough. Okay, so as per their plan, what happened? Somehow Pierre convinces Jean to get that cranberry tart. So as per their plan, our Jean goes to the door of Gaultier and knocks the door, and he is telling to his wife that Gaultier wants that cranberry tart because he feels that that eel pie is not large enough for the dinner, so he needs this tart also. Um, and then he tries to kiss her hand also in between these words. Okay, he applied that same formula again without any mistakes. But what happened there? Marion, who listened everything, who listened the words of Jean, she does not show any kind of indifferent expression. She tells him to wait to get the tart, to get the cranberry tart. But there comes our Gaultier. What happened? After a few minutes, there comes our Gaultier, Marion's wife. As soon as he saw Jean, he starts beating him with a stick. Okay, so Gaultier asks him about his eel pie. Now, in order to escape from Gaultier, Jean puts all the blame upon Pierre's head. This is really pathetic, okay? So, in order to escape from the hands of Gaultier, in order to escape from the beatings of Gaultier, Jean puts all the blame upon his companion, Pierre. So then Jean tells Gaultier that it was his friend Pierre who overheard your conversation with your wife, and so that is how he came and took the pie. And he wouldn't have done this. Then he also, one more thing, he wouldn't have done this if he knew that this would become a big issue like this. Actually, who overheard this conversation? Jean. It was Jean who overheard the conversation, and Jean convinces Pierre to go to the door of our Gaultier to get the eel pie. Then now, what is he doing? When he was caught by Gaultier, in order to escape from his beatings, he just puts all the blame upon the head of his friend Pierre. Okay, so he also tries to justify his friend that he wouldn't have done this if he knew that this would become a big issue like this. Then what happened? Then, as per Gaultier's demand, Jean comes back to Pierre to send him there in Gaultier's house. Okay, so Gaultier demands him. Gaultier tells him to get his friend, to take his friend there in the house of Gaultier. So, as per the demand of Gaultier, Jean came back to Pierre and he sent him there in the Gaultier's house. Now our Jean is safe. Okay, now our Jean is safe because he puts all the blame upon his friend, and he also came back to Pierre, and then he is sending him to the house of Gaultier. Now we can see how Jean cheats his companion Pierre. Okay, Jean tells Pierre that Gaultier's wife needs the same person who came to fetch the pie. Can you able to understand? Jean here tells Pierre that Gaultier's wife needs the same person, it was you, who came to fetch the pie. And she would give that cranberry tart only in the hands of the same person. And she will never give this to any stranger. So she needs the same person, those who has come there to get the pie. So she is not ready to believe a new face. Okay, this is what Jean tells him. So by listening this, our Pierre becomes enthusiastic, and he himself come forward to get this tart. So later, when Pierre knocks the door, Gaultier opens it, okay, and who seizes him by collar and started to shout at him by demanding his eel pie. So here, Pierre, as he is a little smart, who manages this problematic situation skillfully. Pierre will not put the blame upon his friend Jean like him. Okay, Pierre, he will never put the blame upon his friend Jean like what he has done before. Instead, he gives a wise explanation. He tells Gaultier that it was he who overheard their conversation, so that he himself acted here as his messenger. But he directly went to the mayor's house with a eel pie, not anywhere. Okay, you able to understand? He admits the mistake. Okay, he admits the mistake that it was he who overheard the conversation. So, as per the conversation, he appeared here as his messenger and collected the pie. But after collecting the pie, he just directly went to the mayor's house, not anywhere else. Now, then he continues, the mayor was also very happy to see me with the eel pie, and moreover, he is waiting for you, Gaultier, for the dinner. Okay, this is what he told him. The mayor wasn't at home actually. Okay, the mayor wasn't at home. Um, our Gaultier also knew this very well. The mayor wasn't at home. Then he tries to convince him that, but then he came back. Okay, the mayor wasn't at home, as you uh, told me. The mayor wasn't at home actually, but later he came back. Okay, once you left, just after you left, he came back, and now he's very well present at home. After hearing this new story from Pierre, Gaultier becomes extremely happy and enthusiastic. Okay, so Gaultier, he tells Pierre to go to the mayor's house and intimate him about Gaultier's presence there within 5 minutes. Gaultier's presence there with him in 5 minutes. So now, can you able to understand? Gaultier, he never thinks before he does something. Here, when he heard this new story from Pierre, who has become really enthusiastic and happy, and immediately Gaultier tells Pierre to go to the mayor's house and intimate him about his arrival or about his presence there with him for the dinner within 5 minutes. So this is what I told you in the beginning, that this Gaultier, who is a little foolish person. Okay, though he is really proud of himself, he acted as a foolish person. Then Pierre, who stands there, and he asks that cranberry tart to him. A Pierre who's really smart. Okay, what is the aim of Pierre, who wants to collect that cranberry tart also from Gaultier, so that he tells a new story here. Okay, so Pierre asks Gaultier that cranberry tart. So Gaultier also gives that cranberry tart to Pierre with the impression that he will take the tart to the mayor's house, like that eel pie. Okay, the our Gaultier, who thinks that Pierre will take this cranberry tart directly to the mayor's house, like how he has taken that eel pie. Here, there is a twist. Here we can see a twist. Our Pierre, what he will do, can you able to guess? Our Pierre directly goes to his companion Jean and he enjoys their another feast. Okay, Pierre, who was really smart, he will never go to the mayor's house. Okay, now again he duped Gaultier. Again, this Pierre, the beggar who duped Gaultier, after collecting this cranberry tart from Gaultier, who directly goes to his companion Jean, and they enjoy their another feast, like how they have enjoyed with eel pie. Okay, instead of going to the mayor's house, Pierre goes to his companion. So at the end of the play, we can see that second time also Gaultier and Marion are duped by the beggars. Okay, this is how the play ends. So through this play, we can understand that how the society forces someone to steal. Okay, here Jean and Pierre, the two miserable beggars, are actually forced to steal, are forced by the society to steal to satisfy their belly. If they got something reasonably to eat, they wouldn't have done this. And the next concept is friendship. Jean puts all the blame upon Pierre's head to escape from Gaultier. But Pierre did not do like Jean. He accepted the mistake and diverted the situation skillfully. Then when he get the tart, what did he do? He directly went to his companion to share. Okay. So here we can see a true friendship from a true friendship. We can feel a true friendship from the nature of Pierre, not from Jean. Then Gaultier and Marion, how they have been easily foolished by strangers. Both of them have been easily foolished by the strangers. The beggars, though they are leading a decent life in the society, they do some things before thinking twice or thrice. Okay, they never think twice or thrice before uh, do something. Not only first time, second time also they have been duped by the strangers. Okay, so this play portrays the 15th century life in a humorous way. As a whole, we can say it's a humorous play. So the 15th century French life is being portrayed through this play, The Pie and the Tart. So it's a humorous, in a humorous way, it's been portrayed. Okay, so the play portrays the 15th century life in a humorous way. Though the play has been portrayed in a humorous way, we need to understand a lot from this play. Okay, like the value of friendship and how alert we should be in a society, and how to treat someone in a society, and how the society forces someone to do bad things. Okay, how the society forces someone to steal. So these kind of facts we need to understand, or we can able to understand from this beautiful one night play. So that's all today. Hope you all understood. Thank you.